The Great Pyramid of Giza stands as one of humanity's most enduring mysteries. For centuries, we've been told these massive structures were built as tombs for pharaohs, monuments to their ego and power that would shepherd them into the afterlife. It's the story we've all heard since elementary school, the explanation printed in textbooks and repeated by tour guides. But what if this widely accepted narrative is completely wrong? What if the true purpose of the Great Pyramid was something far more sophisticated, far more technological than we've been led to believe? The traditional tomb theory has a major problem that archaeologists and historians have struggled to explain away. Despite being supposedly built as the final resting place for Pharaoh Khufu around 2560 BCE, no mummy has ever been found inside the Great Pyramid. In fact, when the supposed burial chamber was first breached, it contained nothing but an empty granite sarcophagus. No treasures, no hieroglyphics detailing the pharaoh's journey to the afterlife, no religious texts or symbols that you'd expect in an Egyptian tomb. For a civilization obsessed with decorating burial chambers with elaborate artwork and inscriptions, the Great Pyramid's interior is strangely, suspiciously bare. This glaring inconsistency has led some researchers to propose alternative theories about the pyramid's true purpose. One of the most compelling is that the Great Pyramid wasn't a tomb at all, but rather an ancient power plant, a sophisticated machine designed to generate and harness electromagnetic energy. Before you dismiss this as fringe pseudoscience, consider the evidence that supports this extraordinary claim. First, let's examine the pyramid's construction. The Great Pyramid was originally covered in highly polished limestone casing stones that would have made the entire structure gleam like a mirror in the desert sun. These weren't just for show. Limestone is an excellent electrical insulator. Inside, the pyramid contains passages and chambers made of granite, which contains high amounts of quartz crystal and is slightly radioactive due to its natural uranium and thorium content. Quartz crystal has piezoelectric properties, meaning it generates an electrical charge when placed under pressure or vibration. The mortar used to bind the stones together has puzzled modern scientists. Analysis has shown it to be stronger than the stones themselves and contains chemicals and minerals not found in any other ancient Egyptian construction. Some researchers believe this mortar may have served as a conductive material, yet allowing electricity to flow through the structure. The pyramid's location is also significant. It sits directly above an underground aquifer, with water from the Nile flowing beneath it. The combination of flowing water and quartz-rich granite creates the perfect conditions for generating piezoelectricity. As water moves through the chambers and shafts of the pyramid, it could theoretically create vibrations in the granite, which would then produce an electrical charge. The internal structure of the Great Pyramid contains features that make little sense for a tomb, but could be perfectly designed for energy production. The Grand Gallery, with its corbelled ceiling and mysterious niches, bears a striking resemblance to a modern-day resonance chamber. The so-called air shafts that extend from the king's and queen's chambers don't actually reach the outside of the pyramid in their current state, making them useless for ventilation. However, they're perfectly aligned with specific stars and could have served as conduits for cosmic radiation. The queen's chamber contains what appear to be salt incrustations on the walls, suggesting the presence of hydrogen chloride, which could have been used in some kind of chemical reaction. The subterranean chamber, cut deep into the bedrock beneath the pyramid, shows signs of water erosion and could have served as a kind of oscillator, using the movement of water to generate vibrations. Perhaps most intriguing is the missing capstone of the Great Pyramid. Historical records indicate it was once topped with a gold-plated pyramidion, which would have been an excellent conductor of electricity. If the pyramid was indeed generating electromagnetic energy, this capstone could have served as the focal point, perhaps even emitting this energy into the atmosphere. This theory gains further credibility when we look at ancient Egyptian artifacts and hieroglyphs that seem to depict electrical technology. The famous Dendera light bulb relief in the Hathor Temple shows what appears to be a large electric lamp, complete with a filament-like snake inside a bulb-shaped object. Skeptics claim this is merely a symbolic representation of a lotus flower, but the resemblance to modern electrical equipment is striking. The ancient Egyptians also possessed copper and zinc, the two metals needed to create a simple battery. In fact, the Baghdad battery, discovered in Iraq and dating to around 50 BCE, proves that ancient civilizations in the region understood the principles of electrochemistry. If the Mesopotamians had this technology, it's not a stretch to imagine the Egyptians, with their advanced knowledge of mathematics and engineering, could have developed it as well. Modern experiments have demonstrated the potential electrical properties of pyramid structures. In the 1970s, researchers placed a scale model of the Great Pyramid oriented to true north and found it maintained a constant temperature, generated a small electrical charge, and preserved organic matter placed inside it without decay. These effects, while subtle, suggest there's something unique about the pyramid's shape and orientation that influences electromagnetic fields. In 2018, physicists from ITMO University in Russia and the Laserzentrum Hannover in Germany discovered that pyramid-shaped structures can concentrate electromagnetic energy in their internal chambers and under their base. Their research, published in the Journal of Applied Physics, wasn't focused on the Great Pyramid specifically, but their findings support the idea that the pyramid's shape itself could have electromagnetic properties. Some researchers have gone further, suggesting the Great Pyramid may have been part of a worldwide energy grid. They point to the fact that the pyramid sits at the center of the Earth's landmass and is aligned almost perfectly with true north, a precision that would have been nearly impossible to achieve without advanced astronomical knowledge. The pyramid's location at 30 degrees north latitude places it in an ideal position to harness the Earth's natural electromagnetic field. The power plant theory also offers an explanation for why no bodies or treasures were found in the Great Pyramid. If it was a technological installation rather than a tomb, there would be no need for such items. The empty sarcophagus in the king's chamber, with its precise dimensions and unusual composition, could have served as a resonator or a container for chemicals used in energy production. Critics of the power plant theory point out that there's no direct evidence of the ancient Egyptians possessing the knowledge of electricity or electromagnetic energy. However, absence of evidence isn't evidence of absence. Much of ancient Egyptian writing and knowledge was lost when the Library of Alexandria was destroyed, and what remains has been filtered through the interpretations of later civilizations. It's also worth considering that our understanding of ancient civilizations is constantly evolving. As recently as the 1990s, mainstream archaeologists dismissed the idea that the ancient city of Troy was a real place rather than a myth until excavations proved its existence. The sophisticated astronomical alignments of Stonehenge were once attributed to coincidence until detailed analysis proved they were intentional. Time and again, we've underestimated the knowledge and capabilities of our ancestors. The power plant theory also raises questions about who might have possessed this advanced technology. Some proponents suggest the pyramids were built by an earlier, more technologically advanced civilization that was later forgotten. Others believe the ancient Egyptians themselves developed this knowledge, but that it was lost over time, perhaps deliberately suppressed by later rulers or religious authorities. Nikola Tesla, one of history's greatest electrical engineers, was fascinated by the Great Pyramid and believed it was built according to precise mathematical principles that resonated with his own theories about energy transmission. In 1905, Tesla filed a patent for a tower designed to transmit wireless electricity across great distances. The design bears striking similarities to the internal structure of the Great Pyramid, suggesting Tesla may have drawn inspiration from this ancient monument. In recent years, researchers using ground-penetrating radar and thermal imaging have discovered previously unknown chambers and voids within the Great Pyramid. In 2017, scientists from the Scan Pyramids project announced the discovery of a large void above the Grand Gallery, approximately 30 meters long. The purpose of this space remains unknown, but its existence proves there are still secrets waiting to be uncovered within this ancient structure. If the Great Pyramid was indeed an ancient power plant, it raises profound questions about the history of human civilization. It would mean that an advanced understanding of physics and electricity existed thousands of years before Michael Faraday and James Clerk Maxwell formalized the principles of electromagnetism in the 19th century. It would suggest that ancient civilizations possessed technological knowledge that was subsequently lost and only rediscovered in modern times. This possibility challenges our linear view of human progress, the idea that technology has steadily advanced from primitive to complex over time. Instead, it hints at a cyclical pattern where advanced knowledge rises, falls, and rises again throughout human history. Perhaps our ancestors knew secrets that we're only now beginning to rediscover. The power plant theory also offers a more inspiring narrative about the Great Pyramid's purpose. Rather than being a monument to death and the ego of a single ruler, it becomes a sophisticated machine designed to benefit society through the generation of energy. This would explain the immense resources and labor devoted to its construction. It wasn't merely a symbolic structure, but a functional installation with practical benefits. Of course, the power plant theory remains controversial and is rejected by most mainstream Egyptologists. They point to historical records that clearly identify the Great Pyramid as the tomb of Pharaoh Khufu, including an inscription found in one of the relieving chambers above the king's chamber that mentions his name. However, this inscription is the only direct evidence linking the pyramid to Khufu, and some researchers have questioned its authenticity. The debate between the tomb theory and the power plant theory reflects a broader tension in how we approach ancient mysteries. Conventional archaeology tends to favor explanations that fit within established historical narratives and the technological limitations we assume ancient civilizations had. Alternative theories often attribute greater knowledge and capabilities to our ancestors, sometimes veering into speculation that can't be proven with available evidence. Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in between. The Great Pyramid may have served multiple purposes, a tomb that also incorporated sophisticated astronomical and mathematical principles, or a structure designed to harness natural energies while simultaneously honoring a pharaoh. Ancient civilizations often imbued their monuments with multiple layers of meaning and function. What's certain is that the Great Pyramid continues to challenge our understanding of the past. Its precise construction, mysterious internal features, and mathematical properties suggest a level of knowledge that doesn't easily fit with our conception of ancient Egyptian technology. Whether it was a tomb, a power plant, or something else entirely, it stands as a testament to human ingenuity and our enduring quest to understand the natural world. As technology advances, we may yet uncover the definitive answer to the pyramid's purpose. Ground-penetrating radar, muon tomography, and other non-invasive scanning techniques are revealing new details about its internal structure. Chemical analysis of residues found within the pyramid may provide clues about substances used there. And comparative studies with other ancient structures around the world might reveal patterns that point to shared knowledge or purpose. Until then, the Great Pyramid remains one of humanity's most enduring enigmas, a monument that has stood for over 4,500 years, silently guarding its secrets while inspiring wonder and speculation in countless generations. Whether you believe it was a tomb for a king or an ancient power plant harnessing the forces of nature, one thing is undeniable. The people who built it possessed knowledge and skills that continue to impress and mystify us today. As we continue to explore and understand this magnificent structure, we should remain open to possibilities that challenge our assumptions about the past. The greatest disservice we can do to our ancestors is to underestimate their capabilities or to force their achievements into the narrow confines of our current understanding. The Great Pyramid invites us to expand our minds and consider that perhaps, just perhaps, there are chapters of human history that remain unwritten, waiting to be rediscovered.